For many years, I've personally been dreaming of the iPhone being good enough in terms of the camera to replace a real professional camera. So the question is, has that day finally come? And I think yes, it has. So in this video, I'm gonna explain what has changed over the years, especially with the latest iPhone 14 Pro models, to make it so good, and especially showing off my own use case where it finally is good enough. But first, we gotta go through a little bit of story time. Way back in 2016, the co-host Max and I were working for Apple Insider, growing their YouTube channel, and that is the year when Apple released the iPhone 7 Plus. And that's when it came with dual cameras and the brand new portrait mode feature. Now, at first, it didn't work that well, but the background blur was there. And that's when I started thinking, hey, imagine if this gets good enough to eventually look like a pro camera. And then year after year, they kept improving the portrait mode, making it better, then eventually adding foreground blur to make it more realistic like a real camera would do, then improving the depth with the LiDAR scanner on the back of the Pro models. And then finally, a couple years back, they added cinematic video mode, which was a dream come true, but it was limited to 1080p resolution, so I personally didn't really use it that often. But now, with the iPhone 14 Pro models, it is finally perfected, and I'm telling you, it is absolutely amazing. So let me explain everything that goes into it. Now, if it wasn't already clear to you, I'm using my iPhone 14 Pro to record this in cinematic video, and I've got to tell you, it actually looks really, really good. Now, one of the biggest drawbacks to replacing a Pro camera with an iPhone is the audio situation, because usually we use a professional microphone that's out of the frame right now, but for the iPhone, you don't really have many solutions, especially at a distance like this with the raw iPhone audio sounding pretty bad. But thankfully, we have modern solutions like the M650 microphone from our partner Anchorwork that I've actually been using to record the audio for this entire video. It features an all-in-one design like the AirPods, so you could use it anywhere, packing two wireless microphones that you can either clip onto your shirt or magnetically attach through your shirt like I am right now, with 6 different color options, and a wireless receiver that's easy to connect to any phone since it has both Lightning and USB-C adapters, giving you excellent microphone quality for instant recording or live streaming on the go with TrueLink wireless technology, which uses LC3 Plus for long-range 656-foot connection. Each one of these is going to last 6 hours or even up to 15 with the wireless charging case, and the receiver comes with a touchscreen LCD display to view your audio levels and make changes to your settings. It also has dual-channel wireless recording and Voice Shield Pro noise reduction. Just hear the difference for yourself. This is the audio quality of the iPhone by itself. And this is the audio quality of the Anchor M650 microphone. That's definitely a massive improvement, and you can check it out using the link below. Now, getting back to how my iPhone 14 Pro has replaced a Pro camera for me, the main new difference is that the iPhone 14 Pro supports 4K cinematic video recording mode, and that takes the quality to a whole different level. Just check out this footage of wake surfing in the summer with background blur in the back, looking absolutely amazing. I mean, this is Pro camera level of video quality. But the main reason for why it's replaced a Pro camera for me is because I can finally take my iPhone 14 Pro home and shoot professional quality B-roll of products to review with the iPhone instead of a Pro camera, and it looks absolutely amazing. We've been doing some sponsored reviews, and usually I'd have to take my camera, but with the iPhone with 4K cinematic mode, it looks just as good with the convenience of being in my pocket at all times. But what makes it really special to me and why I love how Apple implemented it is that you can change the amount of background blur in post. So right now, you guys can see it's changing between a lot of blur and a small amount of blur because we're doing it in post while editing. You can even change the focus in post, which is an insane change that they've added. So right now you can probably see it's out of focus. Now it's back in focus because you can change it in post, switching between people in the foreground and background. And I've actually implemented this myself. As you can see, here's some footage of my kids at home. And right here at this moment, I switched the focus on my older son sitting at the kitchen island and then back to my younger son while I was recording. This wasn't even in post. Now imagine you could do it in post anytime you want. That is absolutely amazing, and it's so important because a lot of times with the professional camera, once it records something and if the focus gets wrong and off, you're kind of screwed. You have to reshoot the whole video if you want everything to be nice and focused. But with the iPhone, you can change it in post, and that is absolutely priceless. So basically, I have never been this happy with video footage coming out of an iPhone, especially with the cinematic video mode now in 4K, looking absolutely amazing with incredible quality. Now I have to get into the actual portrait photo mode, and this is absolutely awesome because they've been working on it for the last few years and they have perfected it. The foreground blur looks amazing. The actual colors look awesome. Just look at these portrait mode photos of sunsets and subjects during a sunset. It really brings out those sunset colors, while other phones like the S23 Ultra, they kind of cut it down and they can't reproduce it. So the iPhone is killing it in terms of portrait photography, so much so that I'd say that it's rivaling professional digital cameras. Now, one of the biggest advantages the iPhone has compared to a real professional digital camera is that it has a ton of processing power, and therefore we have portrait night mode photos, which look absolutely insane. It's able to bring it up while using portrait mode, and it looks just so much better than what digital cameras can make out at night because, of course, they suffer in terms of low light quality, and that's where they win compared to digital cameras. Now, another big change is the 48 megapixel main camera, and unfortunately, Apple forces you to use ProRAW, not just the regular HEIC or JPEG formats. But what this means is that when you switch to ProRAW and you take a photo, you get insane levels of detail that you can't get without using it. And I found this really useful for group photos where you have a lot of people and you want it to look as good as possible so that you could share it online or do whatever with it. The difference in quality is awesome. And of course, it sucks that they force you to use ProRAW, but we have found a shortcut on the iPhone through the Shortcuts app where you can literally bulk reformat ProRAW photos into HEIC right on your phone at any time, and it only takes seconds, and you can even make it delete the ProRAW photo to use less space. So if you're interested in how to do that, I'll leave a link in the video description below to my tweet thread. Now, the only thing I'm disappointed about in terms of the iPhone's camera is the 3x lens, because there is a big difference in quality this year between that specific telephoto lens and the rest of the camera. The selfies got a lot better, a lot more sharp. The main camera is huge in terms of the difference, and the ultra wide even got a big upgrade, but the 3x lens, it falls down because you can see a lot of the noise, especially when the light kind of comes down and it's a more dimly lit situation. That's why I rarely use the 3x, because there's just such a big difference. And thankfully, with the iPhone 15 Pro models, Apple is working on fixing that. Hopefully they give us a 3x to 6x telephoto zoom lens. Hopefully that gives us a lot better zoom quality. So with all that said, I've got to say that this is the first year and first time an iPhone has ever replaced a digital camera for me in the real world, especially being able to use it for product reviews that I do at home. It is just on a whole nother level, and the cinematic 4K mode destroys the competition in terms of the Android phones, S23 Ultra, everything. It just kills it, especially because of the stabilization to match it. It just got so much better this year, so it's perfectly stabilized, and just I've never been this excited, as you can tell, about iPhone photography and videography. I've got to give a bravo to Apple for their refinements, and I look forward to what they have in store for the future. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Click that circle above to subscribe for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.